Hey, what's up, everybody? We just got out of Warcraft with our buddy Craig right here, and let's see what we have to say about that.
If we do not unite, our world will perish.
This doesn't need to happen. There is one who may help us.
For orcs, there is no other life but war.
Once again, hi guys. Like we said, we're with our buddy Craig again. He is going to commonly occur on our videos, I think, because we're going to keep seeing movies, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because he's a good friend of ours. So we just saw Warcraft, basic gist of what happened. If you don't know anything about this or never played the games, it's basically orcs versus humans. I mean, that's the most simple explanation we can give. Don't want to give away too much of what happened. But you got orcs, humans, magic, evil, good,
green,
not green, blue,
shiny armor.
There you go. Initial thoughts from everybody after watching the movie?
I was entertained. I mean, basically, for the length of the movie, beginning to end, I enjoyed it. I mean, to sit down, eat popcorn too, good movie.
Yeah,
right. It was what I expected. I expected it to be good because of my confidence in Blizzard and how they just don't let anything slide, and they'll take however much time they need to make stuff. But I also knew that's their first movie. There's a lot of restrictions they had to deal with, so I wasn't expecting certain things to happen.
Right.
So I came in there with what I felt was a very clear expectation that wasn't too high, wasn't too low. It's just, this is what it was going to be, and it delivered exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a fantasy movie for sure, and it plays out like a fantasy movie for no question. I mean, you have your
this.
Yeah, well, you definitely have your strong heroes, and I mean the plot itself is kind of typical. You know, but
it's a fairly straightforward, basic.
Yeah, but I would say the writing
plot.
isn't typical. It's really well written stuff.
It is. I think the characters were well developed. It was a fun ride. Don't expect Lord of the Rings. Go in and enjoy a good fantasy movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was so much less the budget of Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Exactly.
If this had the Lord of the Rings budget, which
oh man,
it's not going to get that for the second one when it comes out either. But with what it did, they're going to have a bigger budget coming around for the next time. So it's going to be bigger and better.
And there was definitely really strong acting in it.
Yeah.
For sure. The characters were really,
no particular
really well played
character
out.
stood out as one that was why did they bring him in?
Right. There wasn't anyone that was particularly bad.
Yeah. One surprise, which is a spoiler, but the one surprise of who that one person was.
Which one person?
Which one person?
Because
the Dark Shadow.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a spoiler free.
I guess it's.
I didn't expect.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a spoiler for sure.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I think that's cool about the collection of characters that you have in it is that I think everyone's gonna kind of have a different favorite character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like mine was definitely King Lane. He is the guy from the new Preacher series, and actually his wife, the Queen, was also from the Preacher series.
And she is also from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I believe.
I think so.
Is that her? Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he ended up being my favorite. He played a really good king character, which is kind of hard to do.
He wasn't the typical he's been in power so he's become corrupt. He was actually
he had his kingdom in heart,
which was different.
Yeah.
Which was different than a lot of things that I remember seeing about that era.
That was my favorite character. What were your favorite characters?
Mine was definitely the chieftain of the Frost Wolves. I'm sorry for a CGI character and the relationship between him and his wife.
Yeah.
I fell in love with them both.
Yeah.
That was what I was trying to decide. It was either him or of course I forgot his name. The Guardian.
Oh, the Guardian was cool.
Medine.
The Guardian was the Guardian was really cool as well. But that's one of the cool things about this, and it's like a lot of other fantasy movies, is when there's a bunch of different characters, everyone ends up with their favorite or the one that they end up being able to relate to, which is kind of nice. We were saying that yes, this is PG-13, but it gets pretty violent.
I mean, there's even they do the obligatory splatter on the screen scene.
Yeah.
You know, it's
but it's CG. That's probably how they can get away with leaving a lot of that stuff in there.
Maybe, but I mean,
they were always going to shoot for a PG-13
there are
rating.
completely smashed heads.
Yes.
I mean, there is just some stuff where I was like, wow.
But it wasn't as surprising as X-Men Apocalypse.
Right.
With the violence
Right, yeah,
on there.
yeah.
It's like that stuff happened on the screen, and it was more of a like, oh. Where with that, it was just like, that's here?
Yeah.
You know, so it was surprising that it felt right.
You got to expect the orcs, especially just as they are, to be as bloodthirsty, dangerous, aggressive as they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're hunter killers. I mean,
that makes sense.
You know.
Yeah. It definitely makes sense. Yeah. One of the things that I thought was really cool with the movie is like, I haven't played a lot of the World of Warcraft games.
Yeah.
None of us actually have. We've played Hearthstone more than anything.
Yes, definitely.
And I've tried like most of the Blizzard games.
Right.
Like, I tried to do StarCraft.
Yeah. But
StarCraft was great.
Yeah, but one of the things going into a movie like this with a huge world that I was worried about is the magic gonna look cool or is it gonna look cheesy? And it looked
cool,
really cool.
And they did, and even with the typical like symbols and shapes and stuff that they did, like what you would expect in like anime magic,
right?
Pull it off.
Yeah, I thought it was
you
well
clearly noticed it, but it was like you noticed it because like, oh, they did that. Mm-hmm. That was and it wasn't like it was. The only reason you noticed it is because of how cool it was that it stood out.
Yeah. So that was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, that's something that you can really screw up.
How much camera testing went into that?
Right.
I also want to say, you don't have to be a Warcraft player or fan to enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, there is some great nods to those that love the game, play the game. Not too much.
Right.
You don't need to know a lot going in, and just sit down and enjoy the ride. It's well done.
And they also don't treat you like an idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't go through some grandiose explanation of the universe, of the world that's there.
Yeah.
Like, you don't find out everything that happened before. You don't find out everything about every character. Like, they develop the characters so that you learn about them, but they're not sitting there explaining every little thing.
Right.
They're like, you know what? You can understand it because you're not an idiot.
And I would say, like, out of the three of us, I probably know the most about it because I'm the person that's gone through and like looked up on YouTube all Warcraft cutscenes and things like that, and like just caught that, which I only know that stuff. You know less than that.
I mean, other than playing the game
we
for
still
half an
followed
hour.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like none of us really knew the lore other than like a few things from little things that we've caught.
Yeah, things that we've caught and just from playing Hearthstone.
And it was easy to follow.
Yeah, really easy to follow.
Yeah.
And they didn't try to cheese it up with a whole ton of jokes, which was nice.
Thank God.
I mean, they threw a little bit of humor in there, but I mean, the majority of this movie was not like, we're just gonna make it funny.
Right.
Which is honestly where some things can fail if they put too much humor or not enough humor, if they're going for the humor thing. I mean, like, Princess Bride is a fantasy movie, but it's intentionally humorous.
It's intentionally comedic.
You know, so that wouldn't ruin it.
Right.
You know, but this movie is not intentionally comedic at all.
No.
So they didn't sit there and be like, we need to add some more jokes to this. We need a couple more jokes.
Yeah, they didn't bring any.
But on the reverse side, it didn't take itself too seriously.
No.
You know, it was completely just a great ride as far as going into this universe. Here you are. Here's your characters. Like them, hate them, and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and this movie's 2 hours and 9 minutes long. And
it didn't feel like it.
It didn't feel like it.
Not at all.
The only times that I felt were slow were like the things that needed to actually exist in the movie. So it's just like, if you cut them out, it would have been really weird to do that. So they were necessary.
It wasn't weird when the movie slowed down at all.
No.
I mean, personally, I think that, like, anyone who likes fantasy, anyone who likes action, or like those kind of, you know, big war type movies, are gonna like this. I mean, it's definitely a popcorn movie, and obviously the fans of the Warcraft series,
they made sure to make plenty of nods to them, and the characters were all like any. It seemed, I'm pretty sure most speaking roles had some grounding in the Warcraft world or in things like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, people who don't do well with violence aren't gonna like it.
No.
People who just
young
think,
kids, I would.
Yeah. People who
there's definitely. I mean,
want,
it definitely is like 13 and up at
for sure.
At
Yeah.
least.
The rating is accurate.
The rating is definitely accurate.
People who are waiting for the next Lord of the Rings, and
Yeah,
that's
not so
what
much.
you want out of this, you're gonna be disappointed. Only because that's what you're expecting.
Yeah, and also there's just some people out there who think like orcs are stupid, fantasy's stupid. Like there's just people out there that think that.
Yeah.
Well, they're stupid.
But that's, I mean, there's people like that. I mean,
Right.
I'm not running out to see the latest Nicholas Sparks movie or the latest, Fast and the Furious movie. Like, cause
you're not telling everybody you're doing it. You're
Right.
sneaking out very quietly.
No, but like that's,
I noticed.
for sure.
I noticed.
For sure. Well, Nicholas Sparks just does
In
it
that
for
dark
me.
closet.
Can you imagine Nicholas Sparks and Nicolas Cage making a movie together?
No, I can't. It's called
All right, I don't even know who Nicholas Sparks is.
Oh, The Notebook.
It's basically
is that? Oh, okay.
Two white people almost kissing movies.
Yeah.
Those. Okay.
See, when I want to cry, I need an orc.
Yeah. I don't need something to make me cry. I pretty much cry all the time.
I know you've been calling me a lot lately.
Yeah, it's been tough. But yeah, I don't know. There's just some people who don't like that stuff, so they're not gonna like this movie at all.
Right.
At all.
We
But
are obviously people that like the movie.
Yeah, but otherwise, for your average moviegoer who's like, 13, 14 years and up, like, this is just fun to watch. It's really fun.
Don't listen to the critics. And also don't listen to like the ratings that the audience is giving it, because this is one of those movies that the internet is going to come out in droves to protect its thing.
People are gonna get mad if they're Warcraft fans. They're just gonna get mad because it wasn't accurate, or it didn't do this, or didn't do that,
or it didn't have pandas,
or it didn't have pandas.
It has
in
an 85% from audiences.
Wow.
So, but that's the same thing as like Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas.
Right.
There's a decent chunk of that percentage that's bumped up because of all these people just going, who haven't even seen the movie, or just going in and rating it high because of what it is.
Because it fits their niche.
Right.
Just like God fits that niche, fantasy fills their niche, and they're going to rate it high, and they're going to enjoy it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, not a 28 or whatever it is from critics. It's not that.
But it's definitely, a sheer entertainment thing. So if you want to be entertained, then I would do that. So I mean, we watched this. We watched Now You See Me 2 this week. If you want to see that review, you can check that review out.
I don't think we have time for Conjuring 2.
No, I don't think so either. But we're gonna. But
if you want some Conjuring, you can watch Warcraft.
Exactly. But you can check us out on Twitter. We're going to be doing a Twitter poll to see which one we should do Critique the Critics on for Tuesday.
Right.
So that poll is going to go until Monday. So if you haven't followed us yet on Twitter, do it, and then check that out so that you guys can vote on which one we're going to make fun of the critics' reviews on.
Right.
Otherwise, thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting. Let us know what you thought about this movie. If you're gonna see it,
let us know who your favorite character was.
Yeah, tell us who your
when
favorite character is.
Yeah,
for sure. We would love to hear that. And do your best not to spoil anything if there is any kind of spoiler.
Our usual rules is try to give it a week.
Yeah, just give it.
And then after that, it's pretty much fair game.
For sure. So we appreciate it as always, guys. And until we see you next time, geek out and game on.
For Azeroth.